saliva rolling from his jaw like the blistering scum on a pot of boiling soup. The coal horse, like every dead horse in New York City, was carried that night by barge to either Barren Island or Barren Shoal, where it was butchered and boiled down for glue and grease. Flat Sammy, that is what we called him on account of the horseshoe-shaped dent on the back of his head, and so as not to confuse him with Uncle David's brother who lived in Philadelphia, also named Sam, Flat Sammy did not die. Flat Sammy survived, for no reason except that most of us die in pieces, not all at once. Even the horse that kicked Aunt Sarah. I have examined the history books and public documents, have read how the first garbage barge arrived at Barren Island, the bigger and nearest neighbor to Barren Shoal, in 1852. I have learned how, before the word was anglicized, the Dutch called it Barren Island, for the bears they believed lived there, feeding off fish and clams and crabs, though there is no record, official or anecdotal, of any Dutch settler ever sighting a bear among the pine stands and sage and white sand beaches of the islands in Jamaica Bay. For who knows how long, prior to the Dutch and their imaginary bears, the Native Americans called this place by their own word, Equindito, meaning broken lands. It was a name that was custom-fit to the small islands it contained. One of the smallest, sandiest pieces was our own small island, the flat and forsaken Barren Shoal, separated from the better-known Barren Island by the merest of shallows at low tide and a few feet of water when the tide was high. Most of the natives who lived on Equindito were massacred by Dutch settlers who chased away the survivors who did not die. This does not change the fact that Equindito was their home for a time that mattered, meaning any amount of time at all. The last public garbage incinerator on Barren Island, according to city records, was closed in 1918, the last glue factory in 1933. But that was Barren Island, not Barren Shoal, about which there are no records. Not even my grandson Eric, the anthropologist, has had any luck with finding out more than I, and he knows how to find things better than anyone. Today, on this very day, if someone searches for Barren Shoal on a map, they will come up empty-handed. If their interest outweighs this disappointment, they might search an atlas dating back a century or so. If they are anything like Eric, our homegrown scholar, they might sift through the New York Municipal Archives, laying their hands on once-important documents that no one has touched in years. If they are thorough, or lucky, they will come upon the name Barren Island in the disintegrating tax records, land grants, and minutes of the meetings of the old Common Council or the City Committee on Planning and Survey. But they will not find a single word about Barren Shoal. They can nose around the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey and will have no more luck finding Barren Shoal than they would finding the places where the government buries its unwanted uranium, hoping that we will forget. Believe what you will, everyone does. The fact that every trace of Barren Shoal is gone does not mean it was never there. Chapter 1. In the very beginning of his very first days in America, my ever-hopeful father accompanied Uncle David to Manhattan, where David had a job cutting fabric for men's shirts. My father was waiting for someone to lead him somewhere, looking for a place where a man with no English could earn a wage. My father kept close by Uncle David, his center of gravity still rocking from the journey across the Atlantic. The wooden floor of the factory hummed and droned, my father would later